What kind of animal is this? If you think this is a dolphin, you are wrong. This is an Ichthyosaurus. Ichthyosaurus is an extinct genus of marine reptile belonging to the Ichthyosauria group. They were known as apex predators in the oceans during the Mesozoic era, especially during the Triassic and Jurassic periods. This is a cast of the first known complete Ichthyosaurus specimen, originally referred to as Proteosaurus, which was destroyed during World War II. In 1811, Mary Anning discovered an Ichthyosaurus fossil on the Jurassic coast in Lyme Regis, England. This discovery was one of the first to suggest that ancient marine animals once existed. She identified the specimen as Ichthyosaurus, although the name was officially used by Charles Koenig in 1818. The name Ichthyosaurus, which comes from the Greek for fish lizard, was adopted in the scientific description by Henry de la Beche and William Conybeare in 1821. They considered it a genus with taxonomic priority. Since Anning's initial discovery, many ichthyosaur fossils have been found in various locations across the UK. These fossils provide valuable information about the morphology and variation of ichthyosaur species. In February 2021, a significant discovery was made at Rutland Water Nature Reserve, England, where a 10-meter-long ichthyosaur fossil with a 1-ton skull was discovered. This is one of the most complete and largest finds of ichthyosaurs in the UK. The discovery of ichthyosaur fossils is not only important for understanding the evolution of marine reptiles, but also for describing marine ecosystems during the Mesozoic era. These fossils help scientists study the adaptations and behavior of apex predators in ancient oceans. Here is some important information about ichthyosaurs. Ichthyosaurs appeared around 250 million years ago, before the dinosaurs, and flourished during the Triassic and Jurassic periods. They are not dinosaurs, but rather part of the archosaur group. Ichthyosaurs had a streamlined, dolphin-like body shape, with a head fused to the body without a distinct neck. Their limbs were modified into flippers to aid navigation in the water. Ichthyosaurs varied in size, with some species reaching up to 3 meters in length. At the peak of their evolution, ichthyosaurs showed a variety of sizes and shapes. Some species became very large, such as Shastasaurus, which could reach up to 21 meters in length, while recent discoveries suggest a possible size of up to 54 meters based on fossilized teeth. Most ichthyosaurs ranged in size from 1 to 20 meters, with an average of 2 to 4 meters. This suggests that they were able to fill a variety of ecological niches in the ocean. The body shape of ichthyosaurs increasingly resembled that of modern marine mammals, such as dolphins and whales. They had features such as long snouts and sharp teeth, and the ability to breathe at the water's surface. With over 100 crocodile-like teeth, ichthyosaurs were designed to catch and tear their prey. These teeth allowed them to catch a wide variety of marine animals. Ichthyosaurs had aerodynamic bodies and vertical tails that allowed them to swim quickly. This speed was important for chasing prey such as fish and squid. These adaptations made them very efficient at moving through the water, making them easy to hunt. Ichthyosaurs could live in a variety of marine habitats, from shallow waters to deep seas. They were able to explore a variety of environments similar to modern whales. This gave them access to a variety of food sources. Ichthyosaur fossils have been found in various locations, including England, Germany, and Switzerland. They are thought to have lived in oceans in parts of the world, such as China, Canada, Japan, and Norway. Some fossils suggest that ichthyosaurs may have given birth to live young, viviparous, rather than laying eggs. As apex predators, ichthyosaurs competed not only with fish, but also with other marine reptiles such as plesiosaurs and mosasaurs. Their dominance of the oceans lasted for around 150 million years before the emergence of new, more aggressive predators such as sharks. Ichthyosaurs are an example of convergent evolution, where different species develop similar body shapes as adaptations to the same environment. This is seen in the similarities between ichthyosaurs and modern marine mammals, such as dolphins. Ichthyosaurs became extinct around 90 million years ago, and the cause of their extinction is thought to have involved several complex environmental and ecological factors. One of the main factors that contributed to the extinction of ichthyosaurs was drastic climate change. Research suggests that rising global temperatures and changes in sea levels may have affected their habitat and food availability. These changes created unfavorable conditions for the species to survive. Research also suggests that ichthyosaurs may have been susceptible to high levels of environmental fluctuation, including changes in geochemical cycles and a decline in the quality of marine habitats. This could have made it difficult to find food and spawning ground. During their period of extinction, other marine predators, such as sharks and mosasaurs, began to emerge and thrive. With more efficient hunting abilities, these new predators may have competed with ichthyosaurs for food resources, reducing their chances of survival. Some researchers argue that ichthyosaurs had low genetic diversity among their species, making them more vulnerable to environmental changes. The inability to adapt quickly to new conditions may have been a major factor in their extinction. So, what if ichthyosaurs lived today? If ichthyosaurs live today, some interesting aspects can be considered regarding their existence and interactions in modern marine ecosystems, such as environmental adaptation, interaction with modern ecosystems, and possible challenges. Ichthyosaurs had an aerodynamic body shape and were able to swim fast, similar to modern marine mammals, such as dolphins. This adaptation allowed them to compete with other marine predators, such as sharks and whales, in search of food. As viviparous reptiles, ichthyosaurs gave birth to their young in water. This would allow them to adapt better to the aquatic environment, without having to return to land to lay eggs. With their efficient hunting abilities, ichthyosaurs would function as top predators in modern oceans. They would compete with large sharks and other marine mammals in search of food, such as fish and cephalopods. The presence of ichthyosaurs could affect the dynamics of the food chain in the ocean. As top predators, they would help control the population of prey, which in turn could affect the health of the marine ecosystem as a whole. In the present day, ichthyosaurs would face competition from modern marine mammals such as whales and dolphins, which have evolved to fill many of the same ecological niches. This could lead to competition for food resources and habitat. However, with current climate change and ocean pollution, ichthyosaurs would also face new challenges in terms of adapting to changing environmental conditions. The availability of food and suitable habitat could be factors that determine their survival. In conclusion, if ichthyosaurs were alive today, they would likely be apex predators well adapted to modern marine ecosystems. However, the challenges of competition from other marine mammals and environmental changes would be important factors in their survival. Evolutionary adaptations that have taken place over millions of years will largely determine how they would interact with today's ecosystem.